Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back with part 2 of popular fragrances that I don't care for. So I didn't even want this much time to pass between part 1 and part 2. I will of course do a part 2 of really popular fragrances that I love. Yeah, I feel like I let too much time pass, but here we are. I'm gonna go ahead and do them anyways, and I'm hoping that you guys will still enjoy. But as always, I'm gonna jump right in because I have got a ton. So yeah, we're talking about really popular fragrances that have been hyped up in the fragrance community or that are just really like best sellers, just like really good selling perfumes that have stood the test of time, but that I just personally don't enjoy. I tried to add a little bit more niche in with this one because I feel like there are a ton of niche fragrances out there that get very, very hyped up, and there are some that I just feel like are not worth the hype. There are entire houses that I feel like are not worth the hype. Which we're going to talk about in here as well. But anyways, I'm going to start with one that I don't know if this one is still getting hyped up as much anymore. I don't hear people talk about it much anymore, but it is one that I guess about 4 or 5 years ago was getting hyped up a ton, and I had to, of course, I ran out and had to get a, thankfully I just got a sample of it and I didn't blind buy it, but I did run out and buy a sample of it, and I tested it and I was like, I mean, it's okay, but there's nothing fantastic about it. And that is Eccentric Molecules Molecule 01. I think it's fine. It's a molecule perfume, so it is what it is. They're not meant to be like bombastic. They're not meant to, you know, leave a scent trail. Well, I guess they are kind of meant to leave a scent trail. They're meant, you don't smell them very much, but usually other people can smell them a ton on you. I remember it ended up smelling incredibly masculine on me, which is part of why I didn't love it. It just smelled, it was too woody and it smelled too masculine on me. But I just don't think that there was anything great about it. If I were gonna buy a perfume like that, I would just buy Juliet Has a Gun, not a perfume, because it's really, really similar. So yeah, I just don't love that perfume. Okay, this next one is like a whole line of fragrances, and I'm only going to talk about it because I get a lot of comments asking if I've tried this one or that one, or I should because this one's so good and that one's so good and this one smells niche and this one smells like this. And I have tried a few of them. I have blind bought a few of them and tried them, and I don't care for any single one that I've ever smelled. And that is Elizabeth Taylor White Diamonds, the entire line. I've never smelled a White Diamonds perfume that I've ever enjoyed. And like I said, I don't feel like they're super overhyped, but they do get talked about a lot. I feel like I have somebody recommend a Diamonds perfume to me at least once a month. I think there are a couple that are like compared to, you know, niche perfumes or whatever, but they're just not for me. The two that I bought, I think I bought 2. Neither of them worked for me. They just didn't work on my skin chemistry. I can see though, that being like a line of perfumes that if it works for you, they're gonna be incredible on you. Unfortunately, I'm just not one of those people that my skin chemistry works with them. So yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of the entire line. Okay, another one, this one used to be, and still is sometimes recommended to me, Cartier, I think it's Le Panther, or you know, the Panther one from Cartier. Yeah, that fragrance is way too musky for me. I think I blind bought the Légère version of it, and even the Légère, which is a lighter formulation of it, was way, way too musky. It was musky to me in the way that Narciso Rodriguez is musky, like this musky floral, that yeah, I don't care for. So I've never cared to try any of the others in the line, because I feel like if the Légère was too much for me, then the other ones would be as well. Okay, this is one that I can't remember if I talked about it in my first one. I should have looked it up. I don't know that I did talk about it in the first video though. Lancome Oud Bouquet. That is a fragrance that has been hyped to the moon and back. I particularly dislike the original formulation of it, the one that looks like it's in that mosaic rose bottle. I really, really don't like that formulation. I do have a small little half ml bottle of the newer formulation, the current formulation. It's okay. I like Shag Half Oud from Swiss Arabian a million times better than Oud Bouquet. The original formulation of Oud Bouquet almost smelled like gasoline to me, or like burning rubber. Just something super unpleasant. I just didn't care for it. Swiss Arabian Shag Half Oud goes much sweeter on my skin than Oud Bouquet does, which is why I prefer it so much more. Even Shag Half Oud, I'll only wear it a couple times a year though, because it's a lot. Like, it's a very, talk about a bombastic perfume. It is very bombastic, like in your face. Like, you're not gonna escape Oud Bouquet once you spray it on. So, or Shag Half Oud even. So yeah, I only wear it a couple times a year, but I wear it because I will start craving it. And Shag Half Oud is much sweeter on me. It sweetens up on my skin beautifully. And yeah, I love it, but just not a fan of Oud Bouquet. Okay, this next one we're gonna talk about is like the entire line. One in particular I really, really didn't like, but I don't know that I've ever smelled. Besides Lyra, I don't think I've ever smelled another Xerjoff fragrance that I've ever liked. I picked up the Oil Perfumery dupe of Italica. Oh my gosh, I hated it. It did not smell good to my nose at all. And just talking to other people, they have said that that's how the perfume is too, because I thought maybe it was just a bad dupe. Like, maybe this is just a really bad clone and Italica is really nice, but this clone is just really bad. And I had people say, no, it's not just the clone. The perfume's just really not very good. So yeah, just Xerjoff in general is just not for me. It's a house that, and Suspiro, I think it's the same. It's kind of like Montal and Mancera. It's the same house. I just don't care for their fragrances. A lot of them have that really gross metallic base to them. And a lot of, they're just, I don't know. I've never liked one. Now, Lyra is a different story. Lyra is incredible. I love it. It's everything I love in a perfume. It's sweet, it's yummy, it's gourmand, it's warm, it's cozy. It's everything that I love. So I am excluding Lyra from this, but from every other Suspiro or Xerjoff fragrance I've ever smelled, I really have not cared for any of them. Another house in general that I just feel like is it doesn't get hyped up very often, thank goodness. The reason it doesn't get hyped up though is because they're just not very good perfumes and they're very, very overpriced, and that is Tiffany perfumes. I get it. Tiffany is like this really classy jewelry company, and they launched this, they launched perfumes, and it's just like this really classy jewelry company that now has a line of perfumes. And to me, they just put out mediocre fragrances that are very forgettable and know that people will buy them because they're Tiffany. Which I can't respect that. It's like, just because you have this really bougie recognizable name doesn't mean that you should put out trash and just expect people to buy it based on your name. Like, I just think it's messed up. So yeah, Tiffany in general, I don't know that I've ever talked about a Tiffany perfume on this channel, and I just really don't enjoy them because I think that they're all very forgettable. And for the price, if you go onto Ulta, Tiffany perfumes are like, I don't know, twice the price of like a YSL perfume. You can get, well, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. And it's like, I don't even know why. They're not even that good. Okay, another couple of perfumes. I'm gonna pop them up because I feel like Coach Signature is different, but when I looked it up, it said that the one that I'm not really crazy about was Coach Signature, so I'm a little confused, but I'll have pictures obviously on the screen for you so you know which ones I'm talking about. So Coach and then Coach Floral. I think I picked up both of those, and they were okay. I liked how they smelled out of the bottle, but those were just a case of they just didn't smell very good on me. They are really popular perfumes. I think they sell like pretty well. The bottles are stunning. The bottles are amazing. I love them. I think they're so beautiful. But yeah, those are just a couple of perfumes that just didn't smell very good on me, and I ended up, I think I had both of them at one point, and I've since decluttered them because they're not for me. I really want to smell the one that's like the original one that's got the silver C's on the bottle. I would love to get my nose on that one, but also Coach Dreams. Everybody says, because it's got a cactus note in it, I'm dying to get my nose on that one. Everybody says it's really, really nice. and for whatever reason I just haven't been able to smell that one yet. Okay, another perfume that is super popular. It has been way hyped up in the past. People love this perfume. I do not love this perfume though, is Tom Ford Black Orchid. I love the bottles, Black Orchid, Velvet Orchid Lumiere, which I had at one point, Orchid Soleil. They're beautiful bottles. I do not like how they smell. I really don't like how Black Orchid smells, especially on me. It's almost too much. It's really headache inducing. It's like too much of everything. It's too sweet. It's too rich. It's too floral. It's too, it's just like too much of everything, and it's really headache inducing for me. So I do not love Black Orchid. Another one I really don't like by Tom Ford is Tuscan Leather. It smells like straight up like tanned leather. I mean, that's what it smells like. And I know some people really like that. I'm just not a fan of leather in perfume at all. But that is a fragrance that has been hyped up in the past, and I do not know why. I don't feel like there's anything pleasant smelling about Tuscan Leather at all. Like nothing. Another fragrance that I feel like I don't think it's overhyped, but I think it's selling a lot, and I think it's selling a lot just to, I don't know, but I do think that it sells really, really well because I see it everywhere. It pops up everywhere, is Michael Kors Wanderlust. I think it's fine. I think it smells perfectly pleasant. It's really pretty, but it's also incredibly forgettable. And if I remember correctly, I think I sprayed that on myself one time when I was in Ulta, and I think it lasted all of maybe 15 minutes. Like, I don't think I could smell it before I even left the store anymore. So I feel like it doesn't perform well, and yeah, there's like a whole line of the Wanderlust perfumes now, and I've only smelled the original one, but I just feel like it's kind of forgettable. Another fragrance, I get asked about this one a lot too, is Estee Lauder Beautiful. I remember when Estee Lauder Beautiful came out. I think it came out in the 90s, like mid to late 90s. I didn't like it back then, and I still don't like Beautiful. Same with Pleasures. They came out, I can't remember when Pleasures came out. I want to say Pleasures came out after Beautiful. I don't totally remember, but I don't like really either of them. Those are two Estee Lauder perfumes that I've just never been a fan of. They always reminded me of, like, I don't know, and I guess when I was in high school, Estee Lauder to me always seemed like a really mature woman's makeup brand. Like, all of the young people my age that went to the makeup counters in department stores to buy makeup, you know, if you were young, you bought Clinique. Like, and when Clinique released Happy, you wore Happy. It was almost like, I don't know, when I was in high school, Estee Lauder was almost too mature for us. The makeup was too mature, and the perfumes always seemed too mature smelling as well. And so it might just be that has stuck with me all this time, and I'm just not a huge fan. So yeah, another perfume that, it's funny because this is one that's been out for quite a while, but I'm just now kind of seeing it get hyped, and it's not getting super hyped, but I am seeing it get hyped a little bit, is Allsaints Sunset Riot. That's a perfume that I mean, I smelled it years ago at this point. I think it's been at least 3 or 4 years ago. It's another Baccarat Rouge 540 smelling perfume. It's got that scent profile. I think I was just asked recently, or somebody recommended it to me recently, and yeah, I was thinking, no, I can't do it because it's another Baccarat Rouge 540 scent profile fragrance, and I'm just not, I'm kind of over that at the moment. So yeah, I feel like that one is just now starting to get hyped up though. And it's amazing to me because companies and brands are still putting out fragrances with that scent profile. There was a perfume recently, it's a newer perfume that just came out, and it was one that I was interested in. I can't think off the top of my head, but then when I started reading some reviews on it, people started saying it smells like Baccarat Rouge 540, and I was like, really? Why are people still putting out brand new perfumes that smell like Baccarat Rouge 540? We have a market flooded with it. We don't need another one. Okay, another one that I bought a bottle of it thinking that I would love it, and I really didn't love it, was Tom Ford Eau de Soleil Blanc. So I love the original Soleil Blanc, And for whatever reason, I was thinking I would love the Eau de Soleil Blanc. The Eau de Soleil Blanc was just a super weak, more floral, lighter smelling version of Soleil Blanc, and that's what I love about Soleil Blanc. I just love the richness of it. I love the pistachio and the flowers in it. I just loved the heaviness of it for being such a beautiful warm weather fragrance. So yeah, I ended up decluttering Eau de Soleil Blanc just because I felt like it was a watered down version. Another perfume I was super disappointed by. I thought I was gonna love it because I've loved all of the Dolce fragrances from Dolce & Gabbana. Dolce Shine. I remember I saw that, I think it came out last year, maybe year before last, and I was super excited to get my nose on it. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna love it because I've loved every other one. I did not like it at all. I can't even remember what it smelled like. I just remember there was almost something sickening about it. I just remember really, really not liking it and being super disappointed by it. Another one that really, really just does not work on my skin, this is a fragrance that has been hyped to the moon and back to, is Dolce & Gabbana L'Imperatrice. I think that's how you say it, L'Imperatrice. Yeah. So I bought a 10 ml decant of that when it was getting really, really hyped up, and thinking that I was gonna love it because I think it's got like watermelon in it, and it's supposed to be, or it's like this really bright, you know, like hot weather fragrance. Man, I bought a 10 ml decant of that. I wore it to work, and as soon as I sat down at the table, somebody asked who smelled like Clorox wipes. And then I was like, oh my gosh, it's me. I do smell like Clorox wipes. And as soon as they said it and it hit me, I was like, oh man. Now I have to smell like Clorox wipes for the rest of the day. Thankfully, it didn't last that long on me. Thankfully, it wore off after maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. But yeah, that is a fragrance that has been hyped up to the moon and back, and I have no idea why. Because if you've got skin chemistry like me, it does smell like straight up Clorox wipes. Another fragrance that I was really, really disappointed by, that it's been pretty hyped up. People really, really enjoy it, and I really didn't, was Couture Oui, the one in the pink and red bottle. I haven't really smelled any of the flankers, so I don't know how they are, but the one in the pink and the red bottle, I was really, really disappointed by. I blind bought it. I thought, oh, it's gonna be a fun, sweet, juicy couture scent, and I just felt like it was super, super lackluster. It didn't smell like anything in particular. It smelled very generic. It just smelled incredibly generic, and I don't know, there was nothing about it that I enjoyed, so I ended up decluttering it. Another fragrance that this one got hyped up maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago or something, is Gucci Guilty Absolute Parfum. I do have a bottle of it. I bought my bottle secondhand. I tried it, like I wore it thinking that, you know, well, everybody else loves it, so I should love it too. And I don't know, I wore it a few times and I was like, I just don't like this perfume. It smells like old, musty, dusty roses. It doesn't smell very good at all. It does remind me of Nirvana, the Nirvana Rose. It reminds me a little bit of that, but there's something way better about Nirvana Rose to me than Absolute Parfum. That was one of those perfumes that I bought, and I've even talked about it on this channel. And it's not like I hate it. I don't hate it. I just don't think that there's anything great about it. And I think if you're the wrong person, you're gonna end up smelling like an old cedar chest that has like dried up dusty rose petals in it. Yeah, I think if you're the wrong person, it's gonna end up smelling incredibly mature on you. And which it did, it kind of smells mature on me. Like I can pull it off, but I don't know. It's just not really what I want to smell like. So yeah, that one got super hyped up, and I don't know. I don't actually really love it. Another perfume that I tried to love was Chanel Gabrielle. So I remember when that first came out years and years ago at this point. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to love it because it's a beautiful Chanel. The bottle is so pretty, and it's a Chanel fragrance, and I really wanted to love it. I bought a bottle of it and I did not love it. I think the flanker essence, maybe Chanel Gabrielle essence or something, that one I think I like a little bit better than the original Gabrielle. But I don't know, there's something about the original Gabrielle and the original Chance. There's something that goes a little bit mature on me, and it's just not what I want to smell like. You know, I'm not ready to smell mature yet. So yeah, that one just, I don't know, I just don't love it. I feel like there's a lot of people out there though, like me, that you feel like a new Chanel comes out and you need to love it because it's a classic Chanel. So, you know, and they do perfume like the best. So we should all love these Chanel fragrances. But I think deep down, a lot of us don't like Chanel fragrances because a lot of them go incredibly mature. Another perfume, now I like this perfume, but I feel like it's been hyped up so much. And I feel like they've never made a formulation that actually lasts. And so it's just not worth the money because there are so many perfumes out there that smell like it that you can get for a fraction of the price. And I just feel like it's such a ripoff, is Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess. I feel like it smells amazing. I have owned a bottle at one point. The bottle I owned, and I waited years until they came out with an eau de parfum, because usually it was like an eau fraiche or an eau de toilette. So I waited. They finally came out with an eau de parfum, and even the eau de parfum performed like trash. I mean, I think I could get 30 minutes out of that perfume if I was lucky. And I held on to it for a couple of years. And I finally came to the conclusion that I'm just not gonna wait. Even if something is super popular and super hyped up, I'm just not gonna waste my time on it if it doesn't perform well, if it doesn't make me happy, especially a perfume like Bronze Goddess, because there are so many other fragrances out there that smell like it. It's just not worth the price, and it's not worth the frustration. This is another one. I don't know if I spoke about this one in my last video. I feel like I don't think I did, so I'm going to now. This is a perfume that I've just never ever been interested in, and that is Lady Million from Paco Rabanne. That's another perfume that has been duped like 100 times now. There's so many, there's like a market flooded with Lady Million dupes at this point. I just don't love it. I don't think that there's anything special about it. It's perfectly pleasant. It's a nice fragrance, but I don't feel like it warrants its kind of icon status at this point. I feel like Lady Million is such a staple in the perfume world at this point, and I don't know why. I don't know. I've just never been a huge fan of it, and I think it's one of those situations where if it smells amazing on you, it smells amazing on you, and it's just an incredible perfume. But I guess because I don't have that experience with it, it's just like the bottle's super clunky and ugly. The perfume inside is mediocre. I mean, it smells, again, it smells perfectly pleasant, but I don't know. I feel like, again, like it's such an icon, and I don't know why. Okay, another perfume that this one definitely should have been in part one because I was so disappointed. I knew I was going to be when I saw the bottle. Dior Joy and Joy Intense. I think they're both trash. I've never liked them. I knew when I saw the bottle, I was like, Dior just released that perfume because they just needed to get another perfume on the market. They didn't put any thought into it. It does not smell good at all, and it performs even worse. So that is a perfume that I don't know that I've ever even talked about it on this channel. I maybe did when I sampled it and I was so disappointed. Yeah, but I've never talked about it again since because I just don't like it. I do know that there are some people out there that it just really works on them and it smells incredible on them. I totally get it. But for being a Dior, I just felt like it fell very, very short. Another perfume that there's for some reason, I love this entire line, but this one, there's just something about it that's almost sickening smelling to me and I really don't like it, is Prada Candy Kiss. So I love Prada Candy. I love Prada Candy Night. Prada Candy Gloss is beautiful. I really want to get my nose on all of the other ones, but Prada Candy Kiss, there's something about it that I just don't enjoy. Not only that, it reminds me of something else as well. I thought I was gonna really love that one with the notes, but I just ended up really, really not liking it at all. Another one that I really, really did not enjoy. This is a fragrance, I really need to get my nose on some of the other ones. But Givenchy Ange Eau Demon Le Secret, the one in the pink bottle, I really, really did not like that perfume. It was another one that was just incredibly forgettable. I didn't even really like how it smelled. So not only was it forgettable, it was just kind of, I don't know, I didn't enjoy it. I've heard that there are some in that line though that are amazing. I really, really would love to get my nose on some of the other ones, but that one was just, I don't know, it was such a flop for me. This is the whole line of perfumes. I've smelled them all. I thought that they were all, if you love these, do not get offended because I'm about to use some strong language here, but I thought that they were all hot trash. That is the ODA Juice line that I think Cosmopolitan came out with them. They're the ones that are in that juice box. Like you can get them at Walmart now. I remember they launched at Ulta, I believe, and on their own website, but you can get them in Walmart now because I think that, they are all hot trash. They smell fine, but they smell like body sprays. They're so generic. I felt like the packaging on those is super, super tacky too. They were, I don't know. I can't wrap my mind around where they were going with that. Like, were they trying to market to teenagers but expecting grown women to want to buy a perfume that looked like that? Like, I just don't know. But yeah, those are perfumes. I did smell every single one of them. I don't want to say under duress. I did just to smell them, but I was super, super turned off by that entire line of perfumes as soon as I saw them come out. And that's not me being like, I'm not trying to be snobby or anything. That's not me being snobby because there are some perfume bottles that I love that other people think are super, super tacky, like the Ariana Grande Cloud bottle. I think it's super cute. I love it. Other people think it is the tackiest, ugliest thing ever. I totally understand. So it's not like I'm uppity and like I hate all perfume bottles unless they're super classy. No, not at all. But there's just something about that line of perfumes that they just like rubbed me the wrong way from the get-go. So another perfume that I think I used to like this perfume back in the 90s. I remember liking it, but when I smelled it more recently, like within the past 5 years or so, it smelled horrible and it made me wonder, like, has it always smelled like this? Is this a bad reformulation? I'm pretty sure it's a bad reformulation. Is Lancome Treasure. I feel like Lancome Treasure used to smell way better back in the 90s, and this current formulation now is not good at all. Like, not good at all. I don't even know what it smells like. It's one of those perfumes that when I smelled it, I was like, what am I even smelling? I don't smell anything. I just smell like, it's just weird. So anyways, yeah, Lancome Treasure just confuses me. I guess I just don't understand what I'm even smelling with that one. Another perfume, this is one that it does get recommended to me every once in a while. This lady that used to live kind of close to us, she was kind of, I don't know, she was kind of one of those ladies that she had 3 small children. She liked to party all the time. She would like to, she would kind of leave her kids at home by themselves a lot, and she would go out and party, and she was one of those women that always had men kind of in and out of her life, like a revolving door. Just like, without being judgy, and I'm not trying to be judgy at all, because, people are people and they live their lives how, whatever. But it was just as a child, because I was a child, I think I was like 10 or 11 when she was like our neighbor. And it just felt very unstable to me as a child. And this is the perfume she wore. And so I associate this perfume with her and that feeling of instability or having an adult nearby that isn't a stable adult. That's really what it felt like as a child. So I associate Elizabeth Arden Red Door with that woman. And it's funny because people will sometimes recommend it to me. They'd be like, oh, you should smell Red Door, it's an oldie but a goodie. And I agree, it is. It's beautiful. I remember what an absolute powerhouse that fragrance was. I mean, back in the 80s or early 90s, I guess, when this woman was around, dude, that perfume was nuclear. I don't know what it's like now. I haven't smelled it in so long, but it's funny. I can't enjoy it because I associate it with that, unfortunately. So you just got a little peek into my weird childhood with that one. But yeah, Elizabeth Arden Red Door is definitely not for me. Another perfume that has gotten super, super hyped up, or I guess it got hyped up around the time that it launched, and then I think a lot of people were really disappointed by it, so it's kind of lost its luster, is Tom Ford Metallique. Or metallic, whatever you want to call it. That was a perfume. I even tested it. I knew I wasn't going to like it because of the metal note, but I still tested it. And I really liked the dry down. It had this kind of soft, cozy vanilla dry down. But unfortunately, the metallic note in it killed it for me. So another one that came out right around the same time, it's not hyped up anymore because, again, I think it was kind of a flop, is Gucci Memoir. I think they were trying to do something different with that perfume. I think they were trying to appeal to a very wide swath of people. Like, you know, it was a super unisex fragrance. Anybody can wear it. I think they were trying to make something really mass appealing, but it wasn't mass appealing because it's got a chamomile note in it. Chamomile is not like the best smelling thing in the world. It's like, if you've ever smelled chamomile, like an actual chamomile plant, it's got this kind of weird, it almost doesn't smell like anything, but it's got this like light, I mean, like chamomile tea is what it smells like. It smells like a hot cup of chamomile tea, like this light, slightly green, almost like nothing. And that's what Gucci Memoir smelled like to me. It was like, it didn't smell like a whole lot. And it was another one where I was really disappointed with Gucci. It was like, okay, all of your other perfumes already have performance problems, and then you're gonna put something out that literally performs like water, with a note like chamomile, like a main note like chamomile that almost has no fragrance at all. I mean, I was just super disappointed. I think the packaging is incredible. I love the packaging, but the fragrance itself, I just was not super impressed by. Another whole house, I think I mentioned this in my last one, so I'm not going to talk about any in particular, but Parfums de Marly. I just don't like much from Parfums de Marly. They're not my favorite house in the world. Another perfume, this is funny because this perfume got hyped up in the beauty community on YouTube, which I always find it really, really interesting because I don't watch too many beauty videos anymore, but when I did, used to watch a whole bunch of different beauty YouTubers. I remember when Kilian Good Girl Gone Bad got super hyped up in the makeup community, and I was so confused because I don't remember it getting super hyped up in the fragrance community. It was just really a strange thing. And I never liked Good Girl Gone Bad. I don't think it smells that great. I mean, it's okay, but it's not anything that I would want to smell like. It's a fragrance that to me smells quite mature. Carolina Herrera Good Girl got super hyped up in the beauty community as well. That one, I think it got hyped up because of the bottle, honestly. I think that people, non-fragrance lovers, gravitated towards it because of the bottle, and you'll trick yourself into thinking that it smells good because it's in such a cute bottle, which again, I think is cute. Other people think is super, super tacky, but I do think that you'll trick yourself into thinking it smells good because it's in such a cute bottle. But that's another, I talked about that one in the last video, so I'm not going to go on. But yeah, Kilian Good Girl Gone Bad, that got super hyped up in the beauty community, which I thought was so strange. Another perfume that has been super hyped up, it's a niche perfume that I just do not think is worth the hype at all, is BDK Smoking Rouge. It was ages before I even got my nose on that perfume, just because I don't know, sometimes when packaging is really pretty and the juice looks really pretty, I don't know, it's almost like you can sense that the packaging and the color of the perfume is what is reeling people in, and maybe the perfume doesn't smell all that great itself, and that's one of those perfumes. I just had that sense from it that it was just gonna be kind of mediocre, and I do feel like it's kind of mediocre. I think it smells fine, it's really pretty. Do I think it's worth a BDK price tag? Absolutely not. I think it's got like a cherry note in it, it's got like vanilla. I can't even remember all the notes, but there's nothing fantastic about it. I mean, you can find something else on the market that smells better than it does, and I just feel like, yeah, the package and the color of the juice sucks you in and makes you think that it's gonna be this amazing perfume, and it's really not. It's really pretty mediocre. Another perfume that I really was disappointed by was Givenchy Ani. So there are so many other Givenchy fragrances that I want to smell. Unfortunately, Ani is the only one, I think it's the only Givenchy fragrance that I've smelled. I was super underwhelmed with Ani. And I think it's because I was expecting this really beautiful spicy vanilla fragrance, and it's just not. I feel like the Be Layered dupe clone of Ani is better than the original Ani. It's too spicy. It's so spicy, it drowns out all of the vanilla. And with the Be Layered version, at least you get the beautiful spices, but you get so much beautiful vanilla too. And it's really well balanced, and the dry down is fluffy, rich vanilla. And Ani is just spicy. Like really spicy, and you lose all the vanilla in it. So yeah, I was really disappointed with Ani, like the real deal. Another perfume that I was really disappointed with is Initio Side Effect. So that was another perfume that was supposed to be this kind of gourmand vanilla kind of fragrance, and I don't know, I just don't think that it's worth. Initio perfumes are so expensive. Like, what are they, $260, $300 a bottle? Don't get me wrong, the packaging is beautiful, the bottles are beautiful, but I just didn't think Side Effect smelled that good. It had that almost metallic thing going on in it, and I just didn't think it was that great. I didn't think that it was worth, and I know this is a super unpopular opinion because Side Effect is hyped to the moon and back. People absolutely love it. And again, mine is a very unpopular opinion, but I just didn't love it. And then last but not least was this one I was so disappointed by, Kayali Vanilla. I thought for sure I was going to love that perfume. It was going to be this amazing, sultry, warm, yummy vanilla, and I hated that perfume. I sprayed it on and immediately I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna like this at all. It's kind of like this weird musky vanilla. A lot of people say that if you let it sit for like 6 months to a year, it gets way better. I just didn't have the patience for that. I might repurchase one of the little half-ounce bottles and let it sit for a year to see if I like it at all any better. I just have a feeling though that I'm not going to, because it was almost, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me a lot of Narciso Rodriguez, the Eau de Toilette, if you added a load of vanilla to it. It was like this, it wasn't a vanilla fragrance to me. To me, it was like this musky floral with a bunch of vanilla in it. So yeah, I was super unimpressed with that fragrance, and I'm not the only one. There are a lot of people out there that felt the same, because when I hauled it and when I decluttered it, people were like, I totally feel you. I was expecting something amazing. It wasn't amazing at all. So yeah, I know I'm definitely not alone in that. But anyways, guys, I do have another really hyped up popular fragrances that I love video coming. It probably will come next week sometime. I'm sorry this one was so late, but I do hope that you all enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.